Are we there yet? That was the question I asked my dad 5 minutes into our hour-long car drive. I was 4 years old at the time, around the same age as my Falcon friend Wilson, who's here today. So anyway, you can imagine Patrick Whelan was not thrilled with this question, nor its second repetition a mile later. So he told me to never ask that question again. I, of course, followed up with a completely different question. Are we getting closer? So he starts getting angry. John, that's exactly the same question, just posed in a different way. You need to learn patience. It's a very important skill. So I just sat there, waiting to arrive. 14 years later, I have learned that there's a lot more to patience than just waiting. Now, I'd assume most of you have already lost patience with this speech, but for those of you still listening, let me tell you a little bit about what that little word, patience, has meant to me. Don't worry, I'll try to keep this short. Out of my entire St. Stephen's career, there's been one question that people have asked me more than any other. How is it to have your dad as a teacher? My answer, well, it involves a lot of patience. For one thing, I was always that kid back in lower school who'd be the first on the playground at the start of school and the last to leave aftercare. I became king of that aftercare. The aftercare snacks were a perk, but I spent many an hour roaming the halls waiting for my dad to finish work. As for being in my dad's AP World class, that required patience too, mainly trying not to fall asleep out of boredom. Besides being the son of the famous Patrick Whelan, many of you may know me as president of Chess Club. Or probably not, because Chess Club is a very exclusive group of only the coolest of the cool. Chess is a misunderstood game in my opinion. Not that it's not nerdy, it is. Rather, it's not a game as much about smarts as it is about patience. Why outsmart your opponent when you can simply make them give up out of boredom? Trust me, the tactic has worked for me since kindergarten, and in general, you'd be surprised at how much of being smart just comes down to being patient. Like chess, I also take my sweet time in my schoolwork. I was diagnosed with a learning disability back in 2nd grade, and I've had extended time ever since. Although the disability is now a very small part of my life, it has taught me that patience extends to being patient with yourself. You may not get something the first time, or the 3rd time, or even the 10th time, but that's okay. We're always told to try again, but you can't get a fresh start if you never forgive yourself. It's not easy for me to forgive myself for spelling the word friends wrong 3 times in a row, but I do it and I move on. That example was from last week. Forgiving yourself doesn't just apply to academics. It applies to everything from athletics, to arts, to relationships. Don't be too hard on yourself. Things will work out if you just wait. I would be amiss if I didn't mention the people who have been patient with me over the years. Thank you to all my teachers who have always been there to help. Thank you to my friends for always making me laugh. Thank you to my girlfriend Sarah for always loving and putting up with me. And thank you to my parents for always supporting me. I wouldn't be the happiest person alive without the patience you have all shown me. High school involves a lot of waiting. Freshmen, as you wait for puberty. Sophomores, as you wait for your driver's licenses. Juniors, as you stay on that grind. And seniors, as we prepare for college. Remember to stay patient with yourself, because it will all be over before you know it. All that being said, I'm ready for something new. So, class of 2019, are we there yet?